Hi there, welcome to this National Improving Writing Programme refresher on using the quality improvement tool of the Pareto. So the aims for today are going to be about understanding your system and how a Pareto can support that, and for you to be able to create your own Pareto using the tools that we've got. So first of all, in understanding our system, we need to know what the Pareto principle will help us to measure. So it's based on a piece of work by a man called Vilfredo Pareto, who was an Italian sociologist and economist from the 1800s. He discovered that 80% of Italy's wealth was owned by 20% of the people. He then began to explore this 80-20 rule further and found lots of examples where this was the case. Apparently, this is also the case for women who in particular wear 20% of their wardrobe 80% of the time. This principle has now evolved in many ways and is used in quality improvement projects. So when applied to quality improvement, the theory is if we put our effort into the top 20% of issues, then failures in our system will get an 80% improvement. The principle really does encourage us not to try and solve everything at once. So having been part of the National Improving Writing Programme, you will recognise that this is a Pareto. So we see that friendship classes is the largest example of things that have happened to cause niggles in this playground, and that is where we would want to put our effort to see the biggest change. So for you to create your own Pareto, which will look very similar to this, you just need to follow these really simple guidelines. First of all, you will have a Pareto assessment, whether that's first or second level, and it will look a lot like this, with the Curriculum for Excellence codes, the benchmarks along the top there, and with your pupil names in it. You just put a 1 if you think that that pupil has achieved that, or a 0 if they have not, and you do that on a cold piece of writing for your whole class. Once it's complete, it will look something a little bit like this, a selection of 1s and 0s. What happens then is that the data is pulled through into these tables and charts. So it will pull it first of all through into this table and show you how many children have achieved which of those benchmarks. And that will look something a little bit like this. Once you've got this far, then you might end up with a graph on the right hand side of your page that looks like that. It will be a little bit wibbly on all over the place because they're just taking them in order from the benchmarks you've looked at. But for you to have a really robust Pareto to show where you need to put your efforts, then you need to select all of your data in the white and the green column. You then click at the top on sort and filter, and this box will appear. You need to make sure that you're sorting your order from largest to smallest. Click on OK, and you will be left with this Pareto here, or something very similar. And as you can see in this one, the top 2 areas for this person to prioritise would have been conjunctions and openers. I hope that helps to remind you about starting your own Pareto. And if you do need any further support with anything here, then please just get in touch with any of your local leads. Thank you.